What's happening, so fam? It's Tarot Tuesday. You already know what time it is. I tried to do this on YouTube Live. Didn't give me the whole aspect ratio that I wanted to use, so I went to the old traditional way of recording. Don't forget to give us a like, a follow, press that little notification bell so you don't miss a beat. Support us on Patreon if you want to take Quantum Reiki classes. Take the Quantum Tarot course if you want to learn how to become a tarot boss. And I'm sending you all my love, obviously. Follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. And this is what we're going to be reading. So today I'm going to be reading a little bit different. I usually read tarot, right? All of these are oracle cards. So this is the first time I'm going to read like this for, I think, everybody that you've been following me for a while. I'm just kind of like over tarot right now. I just feel like it's really important to tap into feminine energy. As you can see, we're using the Kuan Yin deck. We're using the Isis deck, the Kali deck, the Ganesha deck, the Chakra Activation deck, and the Musella deck. Basically, there's a lot of divine feminine energy right now that we can be tapping into, and this is why I want to be using these cards. So everyone take a deep breath. Whew. Put yourself in a good space. The first thing I want to be tapping into is Uranus. Uranus is talking about change, and it's on this upper corner right here. I'm going to be shuffling these decks. I did not shuffle any of them. I was just like, okay, I've been meditating all day and was like, just needed it. Hopefully you were here this morning on Patreon for our gratitude meditation that we did as a group. It was dope. You know, we're going to be doing more. So let's talk about the energy of Uranus. Uranus has to do with change, okay? And the first card that comes out of the Ganesha deck is 23, or empowerment. So empowerment in Uranus is telling us that we're stepping into this, obviously, this energy in our solar plexus. It's a yellow card. It has to do with the solar plexus. I've been telling everyone that 2021 is what? Ruled by Mercury. When you look at Mercury in terms of the chakras, it is tied to the solar plexus. When we look at the solar plexus, it has to do with the mind, it has to do with creativity, it has to do with the inner child. All of 2021 is going to be you focusing on healing your inner child and embracing the energies of your inner child. And Ganesha comes right out the bat telling you it's about empowerment, empowering yourself. Now, empowering yourself doesn't mean you have to trample on people. Empowering yourself doesn't mean that you have to deal with other people's bullshit. Like, it just literally means you need to know what's good for you and take the best route possible for you. One of the other things about empowerment is looking at fear right in its face and saying, I'm not afraid of you. This morning in our self-gratitude meditation that we did as a tribe, there was this energy that came up that like let us be grateful for our own darkness. A lot of times we see our own darkness and we're like, we got to heal it, we got to change it, we got to do this, we got to do that. But very seldom do we actually say, let me be grateful for your embrace, for you being around, because the darkness that does exist inside of us has taught us something, right? It's either made us a better person or it's made us trip so we don't make the same kind of mistakes again. So that Uranus energy is coming on strong. Now that number is 23. 23 has to do with, is it 23? Yeah. Wait, hold up. It looks like it's 23. Yes, it's 23. So 23 has to do with 2 being positive and 3 being in creator mode. If we look at the numbers in terms of the chakras, 2 has to do with the sacral chakra, which has to do with our emotions, and 3 has to do with our mind, all right? So the Uranus energy is still running really strong. We're going to be using the Kuan Yin deck next. And why I'm using like Hindu and Buddhist vibes is just the vibes that we're talking about today. Like, it's just, I pick out the decks based off of what they want me to do, not what I want to do. Then we have the Auralis Lute, all right? It's number 34. So it's basically stepping into the energy of creation and knowing that you're creating, because 3 has to do with creation, 4 has to do with trusting the creation. One of the things that I've been downloading very, very, very strongly lately is to know what you are creating in your world. It's not about questioning anymore and being like, okay, like, I hope it pans out. No, it's about telling reality, I want this, and then letting it go. One of the things I really downloaded just a couple days ago was like, oh, Axel, you have this manifestation, you're trying to hold on to it because you want it to play out. but you haven't let it go so it can flourish, right? And when you hold on to something, how can it go out and like create itself? So one of the things that really empower you with Ganesha's wisdom of knowledge and Kuan Yin's like ever embrace of compassion is allowing yourself to dance with life. 2021 is going to be most beneficial for you if you dance with your life, okay? You need to dance with the inner child. You need to dance with the divine feminine. If you've ever studied Atlantean alchemy, which I highly recommend for anyone who is into alchemy, you can definitely check that out in the Neurocodes class and other things that I've produced on Patreon. But basically, Atlantean alchemy tells you that the male is very linear. He walks in one straight line, and the female spins and she dances in circles. And with this card from Kuan Yin, she's playing a guitar. She's playing a musical instrument that would force you to dance, right? So allow yourself to empower yourself with a new dance of life. Stop trying to do things that don't make you feel empowered. Stop living from a space of fear. If there's something you really feel a draw to accomplish right now in your lifetime, make it happen. There's no better time than the now, especially creating something that works around you. You are the creator of your own universe, so you need to create rules for your universe that allow your universe to thrive. A lot of times we try to embrace our own universe and we don't allow ourselves to create our own personal laws for our universe. We're trying to create our own universe and live in our universe based off of other people's laws, philosophies, ideas, judgments, and that no longer has a place for us here in 2020. Another thing that I've been downloading with that's very in alignment with the Uranus energy is a lot of times we think that someone fell out of alignment with us because of the fact that like they did us dirty or something like that, right? Like we really need to understand that sometimes we fall out of alignment with individuals just because we have to go on our own separate paths. And then with time, you end up coming back together and meeting up with that individual. So it's really important for you to recognize that if there's anyone that's left your life and is somewhat starting to come back, be okay with it. You don't have to like go all gung-ho and be like, yeah, let's just do this together. But you need to recognize that it's the timelines recollapsing on themselves and allowing you the opportunity to continue moving forward. Sometimes our own personal prejudices and our own judgments towards a person based off of our ego will block our own blessings. Now, we each have to evaluate each situation and each energy that comes into our lives as they come into our lives. But it's really important for us to be open with this kind of information. So we're going to look at the subconscious energy of Kuan Yin, and we have enter the Jade Temple. Now, jade's a great stone that has to do with like abundance and prosperity, and 11 in this card has to do with manifestation. Right now, you guys, you may have been feeling a really huge need to meditate. You may have been getting downloads that are even strange to you. I definitely have been having that experience where I've been downloading dark alchemy, like really serious dark alchemy, which I know most people can't handle, but for some reason my consciousness has now been able to comprehend it and deal with it properly. And you might have been having those same types of awarenesses. You may have also been really aware that like there's certain kind of aspects in your reality that you just don't have energy to put into, whether it's talking to a person or dealing with someone else. You might have noticed that you're coming into this new state of serenity and self-empowerment in the sense of just not having to create negative energies. This morning I woke up and I was really angry at something that was going on in my business. And well, I wasn't really angry. I was like more so annoyed. Normally I would have been angry. And I noticed that, oh, I'm not going to give my energy to this anger. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, I'm the creator of my own universe, and this doesn't require anger. This requires me being upfront, feeling empowered, and just telling you what's really good. All right? And then from there, I'm willing to make adjustments or move on in a new direction by myself, right? So be really aware and also be understanding of yourself. Right now, there's a lot of opportunity for abundance if you're looking in the right places for abundance. It doesn't always have to mean money. A lot of times people confuse abundance with money. Money is not the only form of abundance. What if knowledge is abundance? What if just being able to relax in this present moment is abundance? What if starting a new lifestyle that is actually empowering you is abundance? Those are the things that we really need to start paying attention to and owning, and that'll bring in more of the stuff that we're looking for if you are looking for more prosperity and material gain. So we're going to look at the underside of the Ganesha energies. It's 31 with decisions, which I'm loving it. Right now, we are being forced to be making decisions. As Mercury controls 2021, that is all that there is. Mental decisions, taking action, what's going to make you feel empowered. Are you willing to take the risk? A lot of times we want to create something in reality and not take any risk whatsoever because it makes us feel more comfortable. And a lot of times you will miss out on a great opportunity because you're trying to play too safe. Now, everything has its personal judgments, right? You need to make decisions on what's a good call for you and what's not a good call for you. But you always have to make the final decision of asking yourself, am I willing to wait and this opportunity escape me? Or is there something telling me that I should take this opportunity right now? Okay, so it's really, really important for us to listen to the 31, 3 creation, and 1 listening to your intuition. As you can see, we're seeing a lot of like 1s and 3s, and there's a 3, a 1, a 3. The energy of 3 and 1 are just predominant right now, which is creating and manifesting. This is all going to be coming out of your mind. One of the other things that you need to be paying attention to hack reality in the way that you want reality to play out is really paying attention to your root chakra. So the root chakra is like one of those things that, you know, is kind of like a foundational base for us. And we usually don't think about like how it could be self-sabotaging us because we're holding on to a fear or we're holding on to a mistrust, okay? So you need to start trusting your reality. You need to be trusting yourself, and you need to be trusting that you're okay. A lot of us live from a space of fear. Like, where's my next, check going to come from? Where, how is my family going to react to said whatever that I'm doing in my life? It's really, really important that you don't live from that space anymore. It's absolutely unnecessary. And the divine feminine right now in 2021 is like our grandmother. That's why we really need to start trusting her, because she's going to take care of us and she's going to move us over into a higher density of reality. So really do allow yourself to kind of just go on this vibration of trust. We're going to use the Kali deck. This is one of my personal favorites. I also bought the Ganesha deck for myself. I really liked Ganesha a lot, especially in college. He was my homeboy, helped me pass a lot of tests that I didn't study for, and I'm always forever grateful. Kali Mahayama comes out with this vibration, still in Uranus, basically saying surface from the depths of your own waters. Like, there are some things about us, like when it comes to like looking at whether or not we're perverse, whether or not we are dark, whether or not we are bad people. Like, what if you are? If you are that version of yourself, it's best to just know it and accept it. And by doing something about it is the only way you're going to be able to like really make yourself feel fulfilled. It's one of those things where she's surfacing out of the water, out of the depths of her own consciousness into peace, because she understands what it is that is truly guiding her and what it is that is truly affecting her. I've said this before in other posts on Patreon that, right now, if a person is choosing to love themselves, even if that clashes with you, honor that. That is true 5th dimensional energy. A lot of times we want to be like, oh, you're not 5D because you're doing something that is inconvenient to me. No, you should be looking at the fact like, hey, is this person doing something that they truly feel is going to empower them to the next level? If so, they're walking their path in 5D. And for you to stay in 5D, you have to be like, okay, whatever choices they make are not necessarily like in alignment with my personal desires or my personal growth, and I need to let that go. Remember what Buddha always tells you: the root of all suffering is attachment. A lot of times our suffering comes from the attachment of the expectations that we have for other people. But you can only be accountable for yourself, and you can only let other people be accountable. There are a lot of people who are becoming super, super conscious right now, and they're seeing their friends not put in the right effort for themselves, or whatever, and it's making you feel frustrated. You might be one of those highly conscious people that are seeing trends in the world, like lies and like deceptions, and things have become so much more obvious than they normally have when it comes to like the state of affairs and who's actually controlling the world. And it might be making you angry or depressed or some other dense vibration. Remember, as long as you're aware of it, as long as you're in this vibration of like, you're not going to fall into it, that is the only thing that really, really matters right now. Looking at the subconscious energies of the Kali deck, we have Kamala Devi. And basically this is the energy of like, let things happen for what they are as long as they don't purely interact with me, right? It's like this vibration of saying, okay, I'm going to let you live your life and I'm going to live my own. As long as you're not harming me or messing up my beat, I'm cool with you doing whatever it is that you got to do. Like, while you're doing that, you also have to ask yourself how you can be more accountable in your reality to bring more of like your spirituality and your divinity into your reality. A lot of times we're asking the cosmos, oh my God, help me for this, help me for that. But like, you are the cosmos. How are you helping yourself is the most important thing that you really need to be asking yourself today, and for the rest of 2021. Are you sitting in the sidelines asking for things and not doing anything? If so, be prepared to keep asking, because all of manifestation, all of reality has to do with taking action and, actually staying focused with your mind. Rather, people don't take action or they don't keep their mind fully present on the thing that they're looking for on the average. So really do pay attention to these energies. Now, we're going to be using the Isis deck. The Isis deck is telling me to go to Saturn, okay? Which is the energy that we just got out of in 2020. Now, if you're one of the people that chose not to celebrate the new year on December 31st, and you decided to actually celebrate the new year on March 20th, then you're still in 2020. If you decided to live your life, from the December 31st New Year's, then you're now in 2021. There is a huge difference between both of those people, because the people who decided to stay in 2020, it is very possible, time is an illusion. So like, it's up to you. They're going to get more of a growth mindset, even though it's going to be a little bit more turbulent than the people who started off 2021 on December 1st. If you already decided in your heart that December 31st was going to be the day that you were going to step into 2021, it's too late. You can't take that back. But if you were on December 31st and you were like, nah, this doesn't really mean anything to me, your heart and your soul chose March 20th, the first day of spring, to be your new year. And that's going to bring you a totally different reality. Now, let's look at what the 2020 energies are still lingering as we step deeper into this vibration. This goes for both of those people. We have the Talisman of Potency that comes out. So the Talisman of Potency is reminding us that right now, no matter what it is that you're experiencing, however it's coming to you, it's all there to remind you of your own power, okay? So right now is a good time for you to be charging sacred objects, acquiring sacred objects, like buy an obelisk, buy a meditation tool, buy quantum equipment. All of those things that can help you raise your vibration are the things that you want to be investing in. Because when you invest in yourself, you're telling the universe that you want it to invest in you, because you're good enough to love yourself, to invest in yourself. A lot of times people are like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy the latest phone. Oh my God. And they spend like thousands of dollars on this phone that's not really going to get them any further in life, other than have them sit on, like social media for like ever, or on Tinder or whatever. And that's not helping you move forward. You need to start making conscious choices, because every choice you make, rather the timeline that you're still in 2020 or you're in the timeline of 2021 now, every choice you make is telling the universe how to treat you. So if you're saying, okay, I deserve this one thing that I want to, like, that I've been eyeing for years, like this aura cam that I've been eyeing for years, I deserve that. I'm going to buy it because it's going to help me help others. That's the cosmos saying, hey, you deserve that. And you know what? You deserve more. So I'm going to give you more stuff to keep embracing yourself. But if you're saying, hey, I'm going to spend money on drugs and alcohol and, just useless crap that's not going to actually open up my consciousness to becoming more divine and more empowered, the universe is going to be like, oh, you just want to stay sleeping. I'm okay with that. Like, Yeah, if you just want to sleep, here you go. I'm going to give you all the things that you need to stay in that slumber. So remember, everything you are doing from now on for the rest of the year is basically you fully communicating with the divine feminine energies, the divine womb, the divine mother. She will be producing whatever it is that you're asking for, and she's only ever going to give you what you're giving yourself. And for those of you who are listening to what I'm saying, if you can hear what I'm saying, start taking action. Some people are going to be like, yeah, I totally hear it, but they're not going to take any decision-making processes to empower themselves. And then they're going to be seeing everyone around them elevate their energies and elevate their lifestyle while they're still stuck in the same place because they're choosing to apply their energy in the wrong ways. Now, energy has to do with your attention. Don't give your attention to things that make you feel stressed. Don't give your energy, money, to things that won't make you grow. Don't give your energy, your feelings, to people who do not worship them. Okay? You are a god, you are a goddess, so you need to start treating yourself as such. Now, looking at the subconscious energies of the Isis deck, we have the soul retrieval card. Right now, a lot of us are going through a reawakening of our soul. Now, awakening always happens. Like, a lot of times people are like, oh, I had my awakening in 2017. Psst, surprise, you have an awakening all the fucking time. Like, it just depends on when you're ready for that next stage of awakening. And right now, a lot of us are reactivating things from our soul that we have forgotten about reality. I definitely know that this card is very much in alignment with me. I've out of nowhere, I've fallen into these deep trances where I can't do anything whatsoever. And I've been having dreams of living in other lifetimes and learning these certain kind of magics that are very much so applicable today that I can use to advance not only myself, but my friends, my community, my significant other. This is the energy that's coming through. If you're having really, really crazy dreams, those are past lifetimes, bro. Especially if they feel like they're super, super vivid. Those are past lifetimes. So allow yourself to really embrace that energy, because the Saturn energy from 2020 is going to be cleansing the remaining factors in our life that no longer need to be trapped and enslaved within us. If you're somebody who wants to do quantum hypnosis, you can do quantum hypnosis with me, where you can dive into your own subconscious Akashic records, or find somebody else who knows how to do it. You can even learn how to do it for yourself if you have a buddy that will help you do that. But that's a great technique to do it, or simply just sitting in meditation and knowing that right now is a prime time energy, that no matter what comes through, it's always coming from another lifetime. Remember, you are still living that lifetime that you would consider your other lifetime right now, because time and space doesn't exist. So there is no separation. I'm going to go to the Musella deck. Musolea. This is the first time I'm actually cracking this Musolea deck out. This one has darker energies. It's all about the soul. And I think it's very interesting that the Isis deck starts talking about soul retrieval, and then the Musolea deck is literally all about the soul. So let's see what the Musolea deck has to say about our soul adventure. We have the Eternal Servitor, the Ancient Wanderer. It's basically reminding us to continue to have hope, even though we feel like we're incomplete, and to continue to yearn for our own completeness, especially when we combine it with this soul retrieval card. It's basically an angel of not always, like, they don't feel lonely. This angel particularly doesn't feel lonely. It always just feels like there's more that can be offered from reality. And if you're feeling like you're bored with this reality and there is more for you to conquer and adventure into, allow yourself to embrace this kind of vibration and do that. There's nothing wrong with feeling that there's more in reality, as long as it doesn't make you feel lonely and a victim. It's very important for us to stop holding on to victim-like mentality. That means blaming other people for the things that have happened to you. That means, saying that things are out of your control, because you are the master of your own universe. Nobody else is the master of your own universe. Nobody knows you better than you know yourself, because you're the only person living the perception of you from your own perspective. Everyone else has a perspective of you, and none of those perspectives are the ultimate truth, because you are source. So if you're feeling incomplete, just know that completeness is available, and know that that incompleteness is eternal, because everything is infinity. So nothing is perfect, nothing is ever truly complete. And some people may see that as like, ooh, that's kind of dark and bleak, and oh my God, like, you know, I don't know, it's kind of sad. It's like, what's the point of life? Well, all esoterica tells you from beings from other dimensions, they tell you that they go to other dimensions and they keep learning. They play with reality, and they continue to learn the expansiveness of eternity. That means you have options. That means you can make anything you have happen, or anything you want come into reality. It's just a matter of you knowing that nothing is ever lost, and that you always have the opportunity to recreate. Okay, a lot of times we create these manifestations and they don't happen the way that we want them to happen, and we feel like it's never going to happen. But that is the greatest trap of all. Know that infinity is your greatest ally, and there is never a missed opportunity. We have Morgan Le Fay at the base of the energy, and is basically talking about the witch ages, growth, also seeing who's been deceiving us, the atonement that's been coming through. So for some people, they feel like karma came for them hard, and they're starting to pay for some karma, and they're like, I don't really know what I did in this lifetime. Might not be this lifetime. It might have been another lifetime, and that's why this karma is coming through right now. If you choose to say, okay, I truly am sorry for whatever karma that happened this lifetime, last lifetime, and you just tell the universe and you tell yourself, all right, I recognize I messed up, you know what I mean? And I'm okay understanding that I'm not perfect, and I'm okay understanding that I do claim that this needs to be corrected. That's what ends up breaking karma. A lot of times people are like, oh, I need to like make this special spell to break karma, blah, 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 blah. No, it's you just saying like, okay, I did it, right? When you were a kid and you hurt someone, right? Because since 2021 is all about the inner child. When you were a kid and you hurt someone and you lied about it, what did the adults make you do? They would make you tell the truth and admit the fact that you did what you did, or you would get grounded. That's the same thing that happens with karma. Whether you come to a conclusion that you did what you did and you're sorry about it, and you're gonna move past it now, or you're gonna get grounded. The grounding is the karmic effect of like things going haywire for you, until you sit down and you say, okay, I claim, and now I release. I'm sorry, I forgive, I release. Okay, so that's one of the things that you really need to be paying attention to. Now, Morgan Le Fay, it's very interesting that her card comes up, because there's a lot of witchy energy right now. There are times of the year and certain years as well that like there's more shaman energy, there's more like Buddhist energy, there's more ascended master energy. Right now in January, there's a lot of witch energy. So if you're somebody who classifies themselves as a witch, this is a really prime time for you, okay? Like this is the best time for you to let go of a lot of restrictions that you've been even holding on to yourself when it comes to your own magic, okay? A lot of witches don't understand this, but they try to do magic based off of like books and all this other stuff that's coming through. Did you know that there's a magic inside of you that you can tap into endlessly? Okay, so really do recognize that power that does sit inside of you. And not only that, like the Morgan Le Fay, witch energies can be very like nature oriented. So a lot of people right now would be channeling a lot of like nature energies. We're going to do the chakra energy deck. Okay. Allowance is the first card that comes out here, and it basically, I'm going to read the little bottom half of it. It says the frequency of allowance invites us to open up opens up to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in wondrous stances of existence and expansion. 9 also has to do with evolution. So it's really cool that these cards are telling us right now, like this last deck is telling us what I've been saying already, reading Uranus and reading some of Saturn, like is that energy of like what decisions are you going to do, and like how are you going to allow yourself to be that empowered version of yourself, right? Like sometimes allowing yourself to do something is not actually like doing anything but being conscious of something, right? Like this morning I was angry at something that was going on in my company, and instead of me saying I'm gonna come at it like I normally do with this Aries energy where I'm gonna chew you out for not getting your job done, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna even be mad about this. I'm gonna allow myself to stay in this peace, and I'm just gonna tell you what's really good. I'm gonna be 100, and we're gonna see where it goes from there, right? Taking one thing at a time. That's one way of being allowance, right? The other description is like being allowance in the sense of like you deserve what you want out of your life, right? A lot of times we want something, but we don't allow ourselves to have it because we're holding on so tight to it. We're like, oh, give it to me, give it to me. But I mean, how can I give it to you if I can't even get to the freaking counter because you're holding onto my shirt? You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to be allowed to have it if you're grabbing onto it for dear life, right? And that's one of the things that we really need to be working on right now in January. Now, there is the number 27 and fertility. The frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, more joyful than we have been before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new grand expression of ourselves. Again, this fertility card is going right back to what I started reading off at the very beginning of this reading with Ganesha's solar plexus chakra card, okay? Because joy, courageousness, creativity, those all come from the solar plexus. So if you've been on Patreon or you've been following me along on wherever it is on social media, and I've been telling you about 2021 being all about the inner child and your solar plexus, and you've still been doubtful, that the cards are now reconfirming for you what it's all about. So I'm going to move these cards over, and then we're going to read the next ones are all going to be for Jupiter. These were all Saturn. So the next cards we're reading are going to be for Jupiter. Jupiter has to do with abundance and prosperity, okay? So when it comes to personal prosperity, Ganesha tells us that 35. Now, 35 is an amazing number. 35 is one of my cosmic numbers. I learned it from King Solomon as I've been meditating with King Solomon for the past like 2 years. And basically, 35 allows you to create an environment that supplies you with your needs, your own personal universe, pretty much. And Ganesha here tells us about personal transformation, all right? Our mind controls everything in the cosmos. Just like you can see this map right here, your mind controls all the aspects that happen in this personal universe. If this slab was Axel or this slab was Marcella or whoever, right? This is your personal universe. And then our personal universe is a tiny little slab that's inside of the bigger collective universe. So the way we're going to start mastering 2021 is by doing personal transformation. You cannot be afraid of doing that personal transformation. You cannot be afraid of your own darkness, as the Uranus energies tell us. You can't be afraid of speaking your truth and feeling empowered. You can't be afraid of dancing with life and taking risks, because that's what's going to allow you to transform. All right. So then we have Shodashi with the Kali deck, which is basically also embracing your feminine sexuality. A lot of people lately have been feeling a lot of sexual energy coming up, and it's been like this vibration of like almost like you don't really want to have sex or like give your sexual energy to anyone, but that would be really nice. But then it's like, no, you want to keep it for yourself, right? A lot of people right now are also disconnecting from the sexual experience that most people are familiar with in the 3D. If you're trying to escape from any of your feelings, rather through sex or drugs or drinking or eating, like that's because there's a more profound Kundalini energy that's trying to come out from you, okay? So you really need to allow yourself to embrace this sexual energy and use it. Don't use your sexual energy just giving it in sex just because you're horny or whatever and you want to get it out of the way, right? Because you feel the itch. No. Like, you want to harness that energy, put it into journaling, put it into meditation. Put it into something that's going to allow you to step into a higher vibration of yourself. 26 is telling you that the material world is changing even faster if you can harness these kinds of energies and you stop escaping from yourself, coming back to that Uranus energy right there. That is personal transformation, okay? When you choose not to give into the body and you choose to do things that actually help you move to the next level. Isis is reminding us the divine sun child, blessings from the sun falcon, okay? So basically it's telling you that right now this is a really huge ascension gateway energy. For some of us, it's easier. For others, it's harder. Why? Because some of us have been doing our work and we're not afraid to look at ourselves in that fashion. If you want your spiritual journey to be even faster and easier for you, you need to start embracing the fact that you're not going to run away from yourself. You're not going to run away from the things that are bothering you, okay? So then we have another 34 that comes out here. 34 came out originally up here with Kuan Yin, and we're starting to see it again down here. Now 34 is telling us about passion, right? The Kali energy is the tantric energy from Kali, and passion with 34 is basically telling us the frequency of passion reminds us to breathe every intense emotion that lies hidden as a hidden gem, as a way of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within our intensity, moving us from chaos to calm, and the core of what it really needs to be, stepping into a long-lasting wisdom that fills us up, okay? As you can see, the cards are starting to like really align themselves right now. There's a lot of good energy that's coming on. The Bamboo Moon, 1 with Kuan Yin, another manifestation card, basically reminding us, hey, the divine feminine, the moon has to do with the divine feminine. That's all that's here right now. Are you working with her or are you working against her? If you're working against the divine feminine, I guarantee you're going to have the hardest year of your life. Being purely divine masculine right now is you trying to like micromanage everything, control other people, constantly being angry, trying to look for war, trying to like whatever. Like that's the vibration that you're stepping into, reality is splitting. Okay, you can be part of like one reality that doesn't serve you, another reality that's working with you, or one that's in between, right? A blend of the two. It's your choice. You're the creator of your own universe. Ain't nobody can save you this time. Like, and if you don't like that kind of vibration, if you don't like that tea, you should stay sleeping. Like, you should stop vibrating and trying to seek esoterica and spiritual wisdom, because there ain't no freaking aliens that are going to show up out of nowhere that are going to save you from yourself. There ain't nobody, like not me, not anybody's going to save you. Now, if you've been following me on Patreon, on some of the posts that I said, I'm not your healer anymore. I choose not to heal people anymore. And for every healer that's hearing me today, I really recommend that if you've gotten tired of healing people, it's okay. A lot of us have been getting this calling that like, I don't want to heal you anymore. I want to teach you how to heal yourself. I'm going to give you the tools to heal yourself. One of the things I really want you guys to pay attention in 2021 is the people who are constantly trying to message you and tell you, hey, I feel like you have this thing, you need healing. Did I ask you for a freaking healing? No? That's fishy. I don't want to work with you. Pay attention to anyone who's trying to message you, okay? I've had this impersonator on Instagram who tries to message people pretending to be me, saying, hey, do you need a tarot reading? I'll never do that for you, because it's not my job to seek out people to give them tarot readings, you know what I mean? Or healing or whatever. That's the person's choice. They find the right master. There's a mantra that when the student is ready, the guru will appear. There's no mantra that says that the guru goes looking for the student. Like, that's not how it works. So if anyone's telling you you need healing, that's the only way you're going to get out of it. Oh, you need this one spell, because if not, you're screwed. Oh, hey, this whole year we're just going to focus on this one thing, right? Like, when it comes to like just taking from you, not empowering you, walk away from that person as quickly as possible, okay? Because that's not the true vibration of the divine feminine. The divine feminine is trying to let you heal yourself. That's what she's about, okay? Then we have Danu, the mother of creation, which again, she's basically confirming to us the vibration of creation, curiosity, and motherhood, okay? So Danu doesn't play around. Like, rather if you come asking her for something, you better know what you want, because otherwise she's going to create it, and if you don't like it, she's going to take it out on you, okay? The same thing with the motherhood vibration. That's the cosmic energy that's ruling everything right now. So choose to listen or don't choose to do anything at all. It's up to you. Nobody really cares but you, right? We're going to do another one. These are all going to go to Pluto, because these are the planets that are really affecting us right now. Sorry, those were all Jupiter. And then the next ones are going to be all Pluto. So this is the energy of Jupiter, your abundance and your finance. You notice how they weren't really even talking about money as a physical thing. Money shouldn't even be one of your worries right now. It should be the energies of a higher vibration that then's going to take care of all the money, okay? All esoterica tells you to focus on the highest vibrations possible from the other worlds, and that everything in the material world is an illusion. So if you stop giving your attention to the material world, you'll actually see the blessings that are supposed to be happening. Now, all of these are coming towards Pluto, okay? And Pluto is all about deep transformation. So Ganesha tells us you're protected, okay? Don't worry about anything. You're protected. That's a good thing to know. Just stay happy. As long as you're happy, you're protected. Isis is telling us that she is also looking after you as you go through this vibration, okay? The Lunar Queen, she wants you to step into a higher divinity. The only way you're going to do that is by trusting the process. We have Kuan Yin that's telling you there's blessings of the Moon Maiden. That's 2 Moon Maidens, okay? We have the Lunar Queen with Isis, and then we have Kuan Yin, okay? Basically telling you the blessings of the Moon Maiden. She again pulls out number 2. Ganesha pulled out number 2. Right now, you need to stay positive at all costs. Do not let go of the energy that you have right now for your positivity. No matter what happens, don't let go of that. With the chakra cards, we have remembrance, okay? And it's basically telling you that the frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul in a body, providing us with the valuable information and the tools to flow gracefully with this and all lives. That's coming right back around to one of the first things that we were looking at with the Isis deck. She said we were stepping into this soul retrieval. We're remembering things. If you can feel like, oh, you know, I know something huge is going to come, and you have no way to prove it, but you just know it's coming, it's because you've lived that lifestyle before somewhere, okay? Like, everything in history repeats itself, literally. Fashion, like concepts, all these different things always repeat themselves in this dimension, okay? So really do remember, like, everything that's coming up right now is not your imagination. They are memories, okay? And if you choose to empower yourself in that vibration, you'll be fine. Then we have Dawn, the Red Shepherd, and he's basically telling us that the just rewards, an evaluation, and a respite is coming for all of us. That means, like, we're right now in this state of, like, oh, I gotta meditate, right? Oh my God, I'm going through, like, this deep, intense self-evaluation. Oh my God, like, I'm starting to see, like, all this huge stuff coming my way, like great rewards, more abundance. Some of us are already in that deep 5D energy where we're like, we're getting paid hot money for doing what, like, our spiritual path, for doing what the cards are telling us, to empower ourselves and to be, like, empowerment itself. You know what I mean? It's not even like seeking empowerment, but it's saying, like, I deserve and I will have. Like, not everyone has the balls to do that. Like, it really does take a certain kind of character to say, I am worthy and I'm going to have what I want. So, like, it's one of those things that's really coming through for a lot of people. And I'm seeing it for, like, the people, I have a lot of friends, and, like, there's some of them that don't do any sort of spiritual work and they're constantly complaining, and there's other ones that are constantly working on themselves, and it's really crazy to see, because the people who are really working on themselves, they're living in a totally different reality. Like, it's almost like they're not even thinking about the material world anymore. They're just living, right? And they seem to be very blessed by the gods. It's because they've blessed themselves. They didn't wait for God to come through and be like, bless me, please. Guides, bless me, please. Cosmos, please bless me. No, they said, I'm blessed, and it is what it is. And then that started making all these crazy things happen. Now we have Sri Bala, okay, with Kali. And it's basically telling you, spend this time to do the spiritual work, all right? Even if you have the blessings coming your way and you see everything's working just groovy for you, don't get lazy. Like, that's the worst thing you can do right now. A lot of times people are like, oh yeah, I got everything I want and need, and I'm totally gravy, I'm totally cool. I don't need to do anything anymore. It's momentum, all right? Like, you got to keep the momentum going. Don't get sloppy. Like, you got things coming your way, amazing, good for you, but keep the momentum coming. Now, the next energies I'm feeling right now are coming up for the sun, okay? And the sun has to do with ascension, and it has to do with our spirit. So right now we're a lot in soul energy. So like if you've taken my Antojai Quantum Alchemy course, you should be working with your soul chakra. You should be working with the soul alchemy that I've taught you, so you can step more into that vibration. Since December, November, I've been really pushing the soul alchemy from Antojai to help you attain those things, okay? And if you're able to kind of like accept that, you'll be, you have the tools already that are there that are helping you, okay? And if you want to get access to that, just join Patreon and you'll be able to check that out. It's exclusive. But our spirit, we're working on our souls so that we can open up our spirit towards, Kuan Yin tells us to reveal the peacock beauty, to remind us how beautiful we are in our reality, so we can play more harmoniously with our playground, right? Where our inner child wants to remember how beautiful it is, how worshipped it is, how worthy it is, and we're stepping into this vibration of honoring ourselves. We have the Bahavari Yogini with Kali, which is basically telling us that we're rewriting our root chakra. We're letting an aspect of our old selves die. Now, a lot of times people are like, oh, I need to let an old aspect of myself die by healing it. No, when you let something die, you don't heal it. Hello? Like, there's these gurus that are out there trying to tell you, oh yeah, to do your shadow work and to become a new person, you need to heal. The fuck you don't. Like, in order for you to heal, that's one way to do things. But sometimes if you abandon the personality altogether and you architect a new version of yourself, what's there to heal? That new version of yourself doesn't have the same problems in which you were originally trying to escape from. And you shouldn't be escaping from anything. You should be choosing destruction. Kali has that energy of destruction. She does not care about your feelings. She does not care about the ties that came from the previous incarnation or our previous identity. She takes us to where we need to go because that's where we deserve to be. Okay, so with this card right here, it's basically telling you, just let it die already. Like, if that means you need to stop talking to certain people, if that means you have to stop smoking weed, if that means that you have to whatever, okay, the new version of you just needs to be architected and chosen to go in that direction, right? It's not something that you need to be like, oh yeah, in order for me to let an old version of myself die, I need to heal it. If you're healing it, you're still saying you want it to be alive. A lot of us are sick and tired of being that old version of ourselves that doesn't feel fully embraced, all right? And we don't really think about that in terms of energy work, you know what I mean? Death never actually happens, so you can choose not to be a version of yourself. That version of you is going to exist elsewhere in another alternate timeline. It's just not the version that you're going to be anymore. Who cares? Let it live its life somewhere else. It's not me anymore because that version of me is dead, at least in my present moment, right? If you can hear what I'm saying, if you can hear the alchemy that I'm dishing out right now, okay, then you get it. Isis. The power of the 7 scorpions, the power to conjure lower vibrational forces. These 2 cards are really, really powerful. Actually, these 3 cards are powerful because this card has to do with embracing like lower densities. A lot of times people are like, oh yeah, I want to go high, I want to go high, I want to go high. I want to reach the highest dimensions, the 36th dimension, the 108th dimension, the 1000th dimension, whatever. But did you know that there's dimensions that go in the opposite direction than going up? As above, so below. Why the fuck are you spending so much time looking up? A lot of people don't even think about that. And they think that anything that is a lower vibration is automatically the enemy. No. You want to know what the lower vibrations are? They're the elements. They're the primordial energies. The reason why the lower dimensions are feared and they're usually given like this demonized vibration is because they're so raw and chaotic. And if you don't know what you're doing with them, then yeah, they're going to seem evil and scary. But hello, is the wind evil? No, the wind does what it wants to do, right? Sometimes it takes the form of a hurricane. Sometimes it takes the form of a freaking tornado. Sometimes it's a nice, real, cool, chill breeze that you just needed to run through your house to circulate the freaking air so you can breathe more clearly. That is the power of the lower dimensions, okay? That also means that there's a lot of people right now that are being called, they're being drawn to step into the dark without any fear. I know a lot of alchemists that are feeling that. Like it's like everything was trying to show you, look over here towards the light, towards the light. And okay, the light got boring. There's something missing in the light. So let's go ahead and explore the dark for a second here. And when you really know yourself and you know who you are, you can explore the dark and not have any fear whatsoever. Because what's there to be afraid of? There are animals that are nocturnal, as my friend Bert likes to say. And it's very true. It's very, very true. Like there's some animals that thrive in the darkness, and the darkness for them is a sunny day. You know what I mean? And on daytime, they just can't operate, you know? So it's one of those things that you really need to start changing your perspective on what higher vibration actually means, because higher vibration doesn't always mean more powerful vibration. And lower vibration doesn't always mean evil vibration. It just means more raw vibration. It's similar to having like a stone that is like polished versus a rough cut slab, right? So it's one of those things that you really need to pay attention to. The Musella deck, the Lady of Mass, the Shaper, comes up, and she's basically telling us to reclaim, okay, and to surface certain aspects of ourselves, even recognizing when we are vain in our own reality. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody's got a little bit of vanity. Everybody's got a little bit of ego. Everybody's got a little bit of something that's going to rub somebody else the wrong way at some point in time in history. And that's cool, because why? We're both positive and negative. And a lot of times people are like, oh my God, I made that person feel uncomfortable. Oh my God, I must be an evil person. What if like you made that person feel uncomfortable because they were selfish and they don't know how to see things from your point of view? That's some tough shit for them, right? But most people don't even see that. Some people will demonize themselves the moment they make somebody else uncomfortable because they're people pleasers, because their old programming has taught them that they have to attend to everyone versus attending to themselves. And that's not being a creator. If you're vain, what's wrong with vanity? This is another thing that I'm going to tell you something, okay? A lot of times vanity is one of those things that people are like, oh, they're vain, they're greedy, they're this, they're that. No. What if vanity is just knowing that you like luxury? What if for you, luxury to another person is vanity? They'll call you vain, but for you, you just know you like the finer things in life. That's not being vain. Vanity is also being one of those people that's like constantly focused on the physical aspects of reality. If you're only focused on the physical, then you're vain. But what if you're only focused on the spiritual? And sometimes when you're focused on just spirituality, learning more about alchemy, learning more about the law of attraction, learning more about whatever, some people still have the nerve to come through and say you're vain as hell. They can't live your reality. You can't judge yourself anymore from other people. You need to be the final definer of yourself. You are the narrator. You are the character. You are the storyteller, okay? The narrator, and you are the reader. You need to really pay attention to that vibration, and you choose at the end of the day what is your vanity. If you're still focusing on the material world, that's the trap. That's what you need to pay attention to. Other than that, don't worry about it. The crown chakra is the main thing that we need to be paying attention to right now, as the crown chakra comes up with the chakra cards. And it's basically telling us the violet flower of life. It supports spirituality, connection to the universe, and our ability to transmute negative energy into light. This universe is light. The hologram is produced by light. That's why all these light workers are like, oh my God, light work. And they got trapped into this vibration of just seeking the light. If you're just seeking the light, you're literally just seeking the hologram. There's something outside of the hologram. Did you know that beyond light comes sound? Did you know that sound came first and then light produced itself after the fact? Most people don't know that. Vibration came first. So you need to really pay attention to like, where are you kind of like judging your reality from, and what is it that you're going to be using to move forward. If you change the internal laws of your own reality, you will change how reality actually obeys to you, okay? So in a way, me being a guru that really teaches people a lot about like, self-mastery, I've even started teaching my students, hey, it's not all about the light. You need to be able to research your own darkness, because that is a form of light that most people don't want to look at. There are spectrums of light that we cannot see, but other animals can, even in broad daylight. There are colors that other animals can see that we can't see in the same lighting, because our optical nerves are not capable of seeing those shades of color. So you need to ask yourself, what is light? And is light the only thing that you've come to understand? If so, you're not going to be able to see the full spectrum of what's actually available to you. Finally, we have Ganesha. You need to learn how to accept things for what they are. That's what's going to allow you to evolve and take it to the next level. If you do this, you'll find peace, you'll find joy, you'll find whatever you're looking for. Acceptance is not just saying, I accept what is. I accept what I know. Okay, so like, I accept that I know that this relationship with someone is not healthy. I accept the fact that I have not been taking care of myself. I accept the fact that I've been looking right when I should have been looking both ways. I accept the fact that whatever, right? Like, there's so many things you can come to accept. That's a personal choice and journey for each individual. It's up to you to sit down with yourself and choose what's going to die and what's not going to die. You need to accept beauty. You need to accept the lower vibrations. You need to accept the fact that you can die and rebirth yourself, because death is an illusion. You need to accept the fact that your crown chakra is going through a shift that's redefining your life and repatterning the hologram. And you need to also accept the fact that who is it that's making you feel demonized? Is it culture? Is it you? Is it your mom? Like, they don't know you like that. Even though they think they know you, they don't know you. And if you keep letting everybody else define you, you'll never find your true power. So this is the main thing that you need to be paying attention to for January, really. Obviously, as we go deeper into the coming weeks, every Tuesday, we're going to be diving into a little bit more. But this is going to be the main thing. This is the opener for 2021. This is our first Tarot Tuesday for 2021. So you really need to pay attention to this. Some of you will, some of you won't, and that's okay. Like, either way, I'll be watching from a distance. I'm going to let you live your life, right? I'm sending you all the love. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, on TikTok. Give us a like, give us a follow on even this platform, YouTube, obviously. And support us on Patreon. Your support allows us to continue to create amazing content and more courses. And of course, if you're looking to learn Quantum Tarot, join the Quantum Tarot class. Links are going to be in the description below, and I'll catch you later.